Welcome to Straight from the Muzzle, folks, where we are anything but straight. I'm Space.
And I'm Bean.
And we welcome you guys to our episode, which is about what?
FWA, Furry Weekend Atlanta.
The most ghetto con ever.
Oh my god. No, okay. Well, I guess it depends on what your definition of that is. Yeah, well, that was 1 year. For some reason, 1 year at FWA, there was just a crap ton of like theft. And it hasn't happened again. That 1 year was just really weird and cursed.
True. But you go every year.
Yes, I've been going every year since I think 2010? 2011? One of those.
It's a long time.
Yeah, I think this year was maybe like my 8th or 9th year or something like that. I don't fucking remember. But yeah, I've been going to it since it was a little, like, smaller convention. Like, I remember, I think that was the Sheraton. We were in a hotel 1 year, the first year that I went, and it was literally like 2 stories of convention space. The lower floor had the, like, where people just ran around, got registered, and the top floor was like panels. Also, my bird is screaming. I'm sorry.
That was a burp.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I like the birds in the background. I think it adds a little bit to the atmosphere.
I used to record in my studio, but now I have another bird in there.
Well, the more birds, the merrier. Typically, when it comes to conventions and stuff, if any of our staff end up ever going to one, which most of the time we do, we usually do like, what do you call it? A rating or a review. We usually do a review. And that's basically what we're doing tonight.
Because you did a review for MFF, right?
Yeah.
A while ago.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, we all know how that con turned out.
Oh, boy.
Good Lord. That was a good con, though. It was good. I would say that most people in that con were most definitely drunk about a good portion of the time.
I mean, MFF is like the party convention. That's where people do the most.
It really is.
Drinking and drugs.
It really is the party convention.
Drinks and druggies.
Bring all the huggies.
Oh my god.
Just made that up out of nowhere. So last year, your experience at MFF in the attendance line was awful. How was that this year?
Oh, you mean FWA?
Yes, that's what I meant. Sorry. Well, they both have an A in it. But no, they don't. They're both furry related.
No,
there
honey.
You go. They're both furry related.
Well, doy. I would hope so.
F. They all have
F.
They both have F in it. So
God.
Take it away.
Okay.
Tell us your experience. Enchant us.
A lot of this episode is going to be comparing last year to this year because last year was pretty bad. Not like, okay, some aspects were bad for me personally, not due to the convention itself, and some of it was bad because of the convention. So last year, which was 2018, FWA's registration line, I think the longest people waited was 7 to 8 hours.
Really?
And that was on Thursday. Thursday of 2018. So and I think most people, like the average, that's the longest, but that wasn't everybody. The average was like 5 hours, which is still absurd. But the longest people waited was 8. My friends were in there for probably about 4 to 5 hours. I did not wait in that line on Thursday. I looked at it and I was like, fuck that. I will just ghost the con today. And I didn't even have to do that because it was so bad. Con staff had to let people into like the rave and all that stuff without a badge because, it was their fault that people were waiting in line. So it was the best thing they could do. And I think the line was that long. It was a combination of them not having enough volunteers or staff members, and also because they implemented a wristband system instead of a badge system. So instead of having a badge that you just show, you have a wristband that you can't take off. If you take it off, it'll shred to bits and you have to buy a new one. So it's a wristband and it has a little metal chip in it or something like that. And you scan it to get into different places. So the wristbands took longer because they had to like set those up and scan them. And then lines around the convention that year were a lot longer because the scanners didn't work half the time. Even people outside of fursuit had to like try 2 or 3 times before it worked. So you can imagine having a couple of layers of fur in between the wristband and the scanner. Fursuiters had a bad time.
My God.
Yeah, it was pretty rough. But this year, I think con staff for FWA really listened, and they really took into consideration like what happened the year before. And literally, I was in line I got my own registration on Thursday. I was in line for 10 minutes.
Wow.
I went back in line on Friday to just keep a friend company. 12 minutes.
Really?
And then the day after that, I went in line again to keep my girlfriend company. 10 minutes. Like, it was so fast every single day. They were on point. They had at least 5 staff members in registration. They implemented a system where you had to have your receipt out on your phone or print it out, so that just scan it, look at your ID, and give you your wristband that's already set up.
That's awesome.
So they did so much better this year with registration. I was really proud of them for stepping up and really getting that done. It was such a disaster the year before that it ruined a lot of people's convention. Like, most of your day is gone. So if you're not staying on Sunday, then one of your days, Thursday, is just out the door standing in line.
And no one died, which is always a bonus.
Well, actually, okay, nobody died, but something did happen at this convention. It was Friday, and
good to know that you know your weekdays.
It was Friday. I do believe it was Friday. And wait, no, you were with us, so it was Friday. Not you, Space. I was talking to my girlfriend. She's next to me. So it was Friday night, and one of my friends was sitting on the bed next to me in the hotel room and was like, yo, somebody fell off one of the balconies in the hotel space. So FWA is in the Marriott, and it has 47 floors. It's the tallest hotel, I think, in the South. It's something like that. And there was a rumor going around on Twitter that a fursuiter had fallen off a balcony. And the only way you can fall off a balcony is if you were an idiot and you were standing on the little protection bars, because they have a good 2 to 3 foot bars that you could theoretically sit on if you're an idiot and then fall off of like an idiot. But that was just somebody spreading rumors. And actually what ended up happening for real was someone fell down the escalator. And I was like, okay, why would you cause a rumor about someone falling off the balcony when it was the escalator? That is infinitely better. That is less deadly, 100%. So a fursuiter had fainted, probably due to the heat, at the top of an escalator and fell down the escalator.
Ooh, ouch.
And like they injured their leg or something.
Wow, and they probably did some damage to the fursuit too, because
probably
escalators are not forgiving.
No, they're not.
No.
I hear they were back at the convention the next day walking around. So
wow.
It definitely wasn't like probably the worst it could be, but the fact that people were like, someone fell off the balcony, and I'm like, furries really like to just take rumors and run with it, huh?
Oh, well, because it's like no one cares. Well, actually, I do. No one cares about someone falling down, an escalator. I hope someone got that on film. I really do.
Oh no! Someone took a blurry picture, but that was it.
Oh, okay. I know it sounds awful, but you think about it, like Felix and I every night love watching fail videos from Fail Army. So,
oh my god,
and it's just the best. The people do like the stupidest things, or they fall down, and it's hilarious because it's not happening to you. So, let's be honest. If you saw that video, I guarantee that you'd be like, "Oh my god!" But like on the other side, you'd be like laughing at the same time.
I mean, considering it was like a pink fursuit, so like a pink dog or something tumbles down some escalators, it's like, oh boy.
Someone had too many drinks.
God, yeah, I don't know if they were drunk or if they were just dehydrated, but they fainted or something, and I'm glad they're okay. But like the fact that the rumor was someone fell down the balcony, and I'm like, that's so stupid. Don't say things if you don't know it's true.
What if it's some furry that like wanted attention? It's like, no one's giving me attention. I'm gonna faint. And then they just like fall down, and now they're like the center of attention. They've got this grand rumor going around that people are like, I fell off the balcony, but I really just fell down, a couple of steps of the escalator.
Oh my god! I don't think someone would ruin their fursuit for a rumor.
You never know. People do desperate things for attention.
God. I hated my fursuit anyway. It's fine.
Yeah, I'm good now, but I'm super popular.
God. Actually, nobody knows who it is.
Really?
Yeah, and I can't find it anywhere. Like,
bullshit. I'm pulling the stuff up right now. To the YouTubes.
Anyways. YouTube? I don't think YouTube will have it.
Are you kidding me? If I had gotten that on film, it'd be on YouTube in 2 seconds.
Nobody got it on film. Someone took a blurry picture of the after.
That you know of. Someone's always filming.
True.
Always. Anyways, back to your story and your review. I don't want to take away from that.
Oh no, that was a part of the review.
I was though looking at the attendance record.
The attendance was pretty high this year,
but not much higher than last year's attendance though.
No, I don't think it's grown too much. I feel like maybe it would be higher if it wasn't at the same time as BLFC. Because a lot of people are going to both, but a lot of people can't. So I feel like a lot of people had to choose one or the other.
It looks like from 2009 or 2008, every 2 years, the amount of people almost goes up 1,000. So for instance, if we start back at 2013, there was about 23, almost 2,400 attendance. And then the next year, 2,400 attendance. But then 2015, we got 3,200 attendance. And then it mellows out for 2 years. And then boom, it goes up again 1,000. So it's really interesting. It's the most odd pattern ever.
Huh, that is an odd
So
pattern.
last year it was 5,193 and this year is 5,645. So it would be my bet that next year it goes up to 6,000, if not 6,500.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense.
Don't quote me on that though, because I'm not going to give you any money. I bet this. Blah, blah, blah. Anyways.
Blah, 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 blah.
Keep going while I search this video. You guys can't see it yet.
Oh my god. Okay. Well, the primary things were just how much the registration improved. And I know that's not like necessarily a big part of the con, but it was definitely like an important aspect of having a smooth convention. Another thing this year that was really great is the how they implement the theme. So FWA is one of the few cons I've seen. Like, I haven't gone to any other convention, to be fair, but I've had friends that have gone to other conventions, and I watch a lot of videos and read and look into other cons. And FWA is the only one that goes hard for their theme. Like, go hard or go home is how they do their themes. Even during closing ceremonies, when they announce what next year's theme is going to be, they like film a video and like animate over things and like make an actual production to announce the theme. They're not just like, and next year's theme will be blah, blah, blah. Like, they actually set something up for you to watch. It's highly entertaining. And we also raised about $50,000 for charity this year. Wow. I don't remember what the charity was for some reason, but we raised a good bit of money, which was awesome. I think that was more than last year. So that was neato. But the themes, man, the themes that FWA uses, they have games that you can play around the convention. So they have a lot of standees that a lot of staff members will, contribute art, and then they'll print them out on cardboard, and you'll have them sitting around, along with just general decor. And you can find hidden QR codes around stuff like that, and you could scan it on an app and play these games. And if you like found the treasure in the end, like they go in a sequential order, I think, then they would put your name in a raffle. And during closing ceremonies, they were giving away like con merch and sponsorship tickets and then a god level membership as well for the next year.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, they always seem to do something like that, but this year it was done through like these games that you could interact with that were also themed. Like Pirates was our theme this year. So it was like finding the hidden treasure or whatever.
That's cool. That's nifty.
It was really cool. Like, did MFF have a theme the year you went?
Yeah, it's the same theme every year. It's Christmas. It's all it is. It's just like a giant Christmas con.
Wow.
It's not like I think they might have had a theme, but truthfully, I don't think anyone really like any con that can actually implement a theme. Amazing, but then if you're not going to actually do anything with your theme, just do a convention. Then just plain and simple.
Yeah, honestly,
don't get my hopes up. I have high standards for everything. I shouldn't, but I do.
That's fair. Because, like...
Damn right it's fair.
What's the point of having a theme if you're not going to do shit with it? And, like, FWA every year, even back in the earlier 2000s when I was just a young person going to FWA, and they were a small con, low budget, they still had, like... I remember the first year I went, it was Furries in Wonderland. So it was Alice in Wonderland themed. And and they, like... I remember some of the decorations. They weren't like professional cutouts and things like that, but they were like paper mache giant mushrooms and like obviously homemade kind of stuff, but they went hard with it. Like they did their best to make the theme work on their budget. FWA always does a great job with that, and that's something I always appreciate every year. Even the staff that's working like registration and stuff, they'll put on their best like pirate voice and be like, go see the captain in this room to get your wristband, arg, and shit like that. It's really great. Arg.
Pirates. Yeah, I'm actually looking at the website right now. Wait, it doesn't look like Pirates does. Did they announce next year's theme?
Well, they announced the new theme.
Amazonian jungles?
It is Enchanted Forest.
How original.
I mean, themes aren't necessarily supposed to be super unique. You got to be able to roll with them. They just have to be fun. I
suppose, but it's just like, of all the things you can pick out there, it just seems like they like recycle these themes like over and over again.
I think they should have done the Roaring 20s because it was going to be 2020.
Bomb. BLFC did Roaring 20s and it was amazing.
Don't credit me for that.
And then one year they did like the 80s and that was so awesome. Like everything was decked out as if you had just went back in time. All the music at the dances was 80s themes. It was the best. Oh, so good.
Nice. Now, speaking of dances, another thing that FWA does the best, in my opinion, is their dance competitions. Because FWA is actually the convention that invented that fursuit dance competitions. Yeah. They're the first convention to do that, and every year they make it like cooler. So this year, what was it? They usually have singles and then group. And I think last year they did it like where singles went first and then group happened. But this year they like mixed them up. So you never knew when you were going to get a single dancer or when you were going to get a group dance. Which I think is great because it just mixes things up and it makes it more entertaining. And then that way, like... I guess, I don't know, it was better. I liked it a lot better that way. And the audio was better this year, like the speakers they used and the lights that they used. It was all pretty professional.
So I'm seeing here on the website that there was a Furry Weekend Atlanta fashion show.
I didn't see that. I didn't know that.
What? It says
weird.
See, every time I try to Google search FWA, it keeps pulling up like other organizations, but it said, come show off your swagger in the first ever FWA fashion show. We want to see your best swashbuckling attire. But I don't know where the pictures are. I want to see where the pictures are.
I don't know. That sounds cool though. All I know from this year is they had a ball. Maybe it was during the ball on was it Sunday?
Did they really have an escape room?
Yes, that's another thing I want to bring up. They introduced an escape room. I didn't have a chance to do it but they did have an escape room that you could go, and if you survived, they would give you an enamel pin. So like that's just FWA is a con that gives you stuff to do. You're not just wandering around aimlessly in your suit, unless you want to. That's what my friends and I typically do. We like to go out in suit most of the time.
Right.
But seeing all the stuff that they offered this year, we made it a point that next year we wanted to interact with the activities a little bit more. They had a lot of great panels this year. I'm actually thinking of doing a panel next year because of all the cool panels I read about this year and trying those out some more. My friend did a K-pop panel that was pretty good. And
Love K-pop.
Of course, there's all your room parties and things like that too.
They had a lot of really cool things. Here's another one. Silent disco.
Yes, they had a silent disco last year and this year.
Did you ever explain it? Did you explain it last year? I feel like
I didn't. We didn't do a review last year.
Okay.
No, we didn't.
For everyone who doesn't know what a silent disco is, can you explain that?
Okay, a silent disco. I think it originated in Europe. Don't quote me on that one. But it's basically a disco, but you're all wearing headphones, and it originated because it like discos and dances and things like that. They're really loud. And you would get noise complaints. So a silent disco is when you go into the disco, there's no music playing on any speakers. They give you some headphones that everybody wears, a separate pair, but they're all playing the same music at the same time. So you're dancing with people and you're listening to the same thing, but only the people wearing headphones can hear what you're dancing to. So when you walk in, it looks hilarious because you just see people dancing with no music. No music whatsoever. But if you're in the disco, you can hear the music and you're dancing with people who also can hear the music.
Here's the cool thing though. So they took it one step ahead further. They put wireless transmitters around the con at large. So that means you could typically get your headset plugged into your phone. And then if you had tuned it to the right frequency, you could hear the DJ playing at any given time on the con itself. And there were looks like they said they had 3 different channels, so if you didn't like one DJ, you could switch over to the next.
Nice.
I
didn't know that. That's cool.
Freaking awesome. See, this is why it's good to have a website up, even though they can't see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I haven't done the silent disco. I'm just not a big dancer. Like I went to the rave on Sunday, but I was probably only in there for like 10 to 20 minutes. Because when I was drunk, and I get hot and sweaty when I'm drunk, and then I was in a hot and sweaty room dancing, that made me sweatier. And so my friend and I were like dancing for 20 minutes, and they were like, let's go sit. That's what happens when you're old.
You're not even old.
I know.
I'm old.
With you. I am old. I'm 16. I'm a grandmother.
Oh my God, I love that video. It's so cute too.
God.
What's Mystery Skulls?
Okay, so I wanted to bring that up whenever it rolled around. So
and now it has.
Mystery Skulls, if you Google them, they're a band, and they made this animated series to go along with the songs that they released they had the songs already released, but every year they would come out with an animated music video. And those music video series were really popular. They're kind of like a Scooby-Doo wannabes.
Yeah. I love their videos.
Yeah, their videos are really cool. Their music is pretty good. So FWA got them to come in for a concert. So everybody who had a wristband for the con could get into the concert for no extra charge.
Rad.
Yeah, and that's why con tickets were so expensive this year.
They had to pay,
even for like
they had to pay for the cover charge.
But honestly, with how much FWA offers, I'd say it's worth it. People were complaining about the price increase. A lot of people were complaining that the price increase was due to like some billboards they put up, which I'm sure that could contribute. I don't know why they needed billboards, honestly.
More revenue.
But like that's definitely not why the tickets were super expensive. Like y'all, it was because they have Mystery Skulls playing for free.
I think it's possible though. So if you were to put a billboard up and you know that you had Mystery Skulls, because it doesn't just cater to the furry fandom, maybe they were trying to see if they could cash in on anyone else who would want to come and buy an event ticket.
They didn't advertise Mystery Skulls on the billboard though. That's the thing.
Never mind then. Well, that's cool.
But like because Mystery Skulls was there And I don't think this is necessarily a bad thing. There were a lot of quote unquote normies, I'll just call them that, so non-furries. There were a lot of normies there, like young people, teenagers, some families on Saturday night because they were there to see the concert. And like they did kind of get in the way because they don't understand fursuits and furries and the space that they need. And they kept stopping people who were trying to have a good time. And of course, there's going to be drunk people. So I heard some people were like, these people are inebriated. It's like, well, this isn't your space to be. So don't make a comment on it. You're not supposed to be here anyway. But it did probably bring the convention some extra revenue. That's good. And it also like gave the fursuiters a chance to actually get some attention and interact, which is funny to say because I mean you're at a furry convention and you're fursuit. Like when will you not get attention? But that's the thing. If you're at a furry convention, seeing a fursuit isn't as special, so you don't get a lot of pictures taken of you, and you don't get like a lot of as much interaction as you would like in a public space or at an anime convention. Right. So having these like normies here, normal people, whatever you call them. I always think it's weird calling them that, but I don't know what else to call them. Muggles. Yeah. Having these muggles here. All the kids were like freaking out and asking for pictures, so and it gave the fursuiters a chance to actually interact with people, like in a way that fursuiters like to do, like being all cute and stuff. I was wearing my Harvey fursuit, which was my childhood dog. I made a fursuit of him with little angel wings. And I had like 8 different kids and 8 different occasions come up to me and ask for pictures and hug me. And that was like probably one of my favorite parts of the con. Despite the non-furries kind of being in the way at times and being really confused as to why a bunch of animals were at a concert. It's like, well, it's because it's for us. That's
a convention. You just wouldn't understand.
You wouldn't understand. I'm sure the con staff explained it to the people when they went to go get their ticket, but like, I'm also sure people didn't listen. They're just like, yeah, whatever. Give them my ticket.
I'm really excited to see. So I'm reading more on the website, like fursuit programming, and it looks like they had Fursuit Studio.
They did, yeah. They usually every year they have a little room where you can go and get like professional pictures taken of your fursuit with a little backdrop and stuff, but it costs extra to get them.
But it looks like they haven't uploaded anything yet, so they're probably still working on everything. But I want to see that.
Probably.
I like how they call their fursuit parade the Fursuit Menagerie.
Oh, we don't have a parade. That's something they got rid of, and I'm still kind of angry about that.
It's kind of interesting, but I think they're trying to adopt what BLFC did. I don't know how well that worked. So,
I never go to it, so because it's crowded and sweaty, and like, why would you try to shove every single fursuit you have into one room?
You're welcome. I don't think that was really necessary, but I felt like doing it anyways.
Why?
Because I can. Who was how was the fursuit dance competition?
The fursuit dance competition was fantastic. I'm not going to name who I liked and didn't like because that would be fucking rude.
I think you should do it.
Okay, well, let's just say like the first handful of people who danced were pretty lackluster. Like I was like, is it going to get any better? Like I leaned over to Casey and I was like, why isn't this good yet?
Sad.
Yeah. Like, but after the first couple of people went, some dancers that had really good games started to come up, and it was awesome. Specifically, a lot of the group dancers really impressed me. Blah 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 blah.
I plan on doing a fursuit dance competition at one point.
After the dance comp and after also seeing Floor Wars, I just got super pumped and was like, I want to learn how to dance. Let's do this. But Lord knows my fucking chunky ass ain't going to learn how to dance.
It's just, I don't understand. Okay, like I think Floor Wars are cool and everything, but how does one dance move overdo another one? It just seems like, and it's all the same. It's the exact same style each time.
It's usually not a dance move. It's usually like you have to dance to a part of a song, and then the person has to like respond with their own.
That's the one thing so with like fursuit dancing, I don't mind watching it, but I almost feel like most of it is pretty monotone, because they all dance to the same style of like I don't know, like hip hop moves and weird stuff.
I should show you the dance comp from this year then, because FWA like people bring their game. We had some group dancers that were doing like one group, I think they're the ones that won. They were literally throwing each other and catching each other in the air.
Awesome.
Yeah, they were doing some acrobatic shit, man. And another group that I really enjoyed, it was two feline fursuits, I think. They did more of a performance mixed with dance. Like it was really intense. I'll just have to show you. It like at the end, it was a really dark looking performance where like one character was acting like they were controlling the other one, and then at the end of it, one of the characters like started ripping. It was red. I think it was red tissue paper out of the bodysuit of the other one, so it looked like he was ripping his guts out.
It's kind of like
It was so
it's like the
cool.
Zootopia like reenactment, and she's like blood. Guts.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it was exactly like that.
That's so cool.
And one of the fursuiters, the one who got their guts ripped out, they were blindfolded the whole time. Like they had these props over their eyes to make their eyes look closed, but because of that, they could not see.
That's cool. I'll have to look at it looks like all the dance competitions have been uploaded, so I'll take a look at them.
Yeah, they stream it live, actually. That's another really cool thing that FWA does. They have the technology to stream, like, closing ceremonies, dance comp, floor wars. You can go on their website and watch it live. Cool. And then after that, they upload it to their YouTube page, which is also fairly active. Before FWA even started, they were interacting with their attendees by uploading episodes onto their YouTube. Cool. They actually got like a few famous people to do voices on it. Like I think Travis McElroy from My Brother and Me, and from Adventure Zone, that cool. podcast. He was one of the voices on there, which was awesome. So they're interacting with people throughout the year.
One day when I get there and I get to do a dance competition, you better believe I will be ripping pants off me. I plan on like
honey, then let me tell you, this year someone did that and they were wearing like a thong and a harness that was LED. Like I leaned over and I was like, hey, is that allowed? Like it was super sexual.
Mine would be more like theatrical, like comical, like that's what I would consider the dance competitions. I get they're competitive, but I want to have fun with it. And I've always wanted to like be able to like, you know, like wear a pink tutu, but you wouldn't see that until I ripped off like my pants or something, and you'd see this fat fuck in a fursuit just dancing around with the tutu, all that jazz. And it'd be like weird music too. It's not like known music. I want to do German Sparkle Party. I don't know if I've ever shown you that video.
Oh my god, you have. Yay. I'm scared.
So I think it'd be kind of fun. So
I think that would definitely be great.
Let's see, what else happened?
I've always wanted to do a dance comp, but like I just don't have the confidence to start dancing. And I'm always scared I'll have like a diabetic attack or something before the thing, and it's like, well, guess they're dead.
We should do one then. I'll force you to dance.
Oh, make me.
I'll do it. Let's see. So who was your guest of honor this year?
Oh, I don't remember. Was it just Mystery Skulls, maybe?
No, there's no way.
No. I don't remember, and I'm a terrible person for not remembering.
Okay, so we have one person named, I'll probably get flack for this. It's either Carade or Carade or Carade or Carad.
Wow, that's like a lot of options.
An artist from the Netherlands. Okay, so maybe that's, fair enough right there. You could say it like a bajillion different ways. And then there's another one named Sean Chiplock, professional voiceover artist who has quickly become popular in his whatever. Okay, so here we go. Some of his recent roles would include the Great Deku Tree or the Deku Tree in the Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Yeah. He was Ron Schwarzer in Legend of Heroes. It looks like a bunch of different games, so it looks like he is a voiceover for games.
Okay,
good on him.
That makes sense.
Both people I do not know. Awesome.
I don't know the guest of honor for next year either. Like at closing ceremonies, they're like, now to announce our new guest of honor for next year, and they said the name, and everybody was like, "Yay!" Like no one knew who it was.
Well, that's good. At least they're picking up. Like this is what I think conventions need. They need to not just have, really well-known people, but they also need to just showcase other people out there that have just as good talent.
Yeah.
So it's good that they do
I
it.
agree.
Maybe what they could do is like divide it half and half. Have one person that's well known, and then also have another person that's not as well known. Let them have that spotlight, so that way you get people excited, but then they also have this other person as well.
Yeah.
They're like the third wheel, but they don't know it.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's basically yeah.
So one interesting thing, I don't know why talking about the guest of honor reminded me of this. Maybe because they were a guest of some kind. Mystery Skulls. So they had I didn't go to the concert. I saw some videos of it. I just didn't feel like battling that line. I'm getting too tired of lines, even though there weren't that many at the con this year, but still. So I didn't go to the concert, but I saw footage and people were talking about it. And this is not to dunk on Mystery Skulls at all, because the light show was great and like the instruments were great and the DJ was great, but apparently his vocals are garbage.
Really?
Yeah, like he cannot sing. I guess because most of his stuff kind of has like a techno twist onto the vocals, so it's like auto-tune and stuff. So like his actual voice is like bad.
That's actually,
and a lot of people are like
normal.
It is pretty normal, yeah, especially for a band that relies heavily on like technological,
right,
stylistic stuff. But it was still kind of funny, like especially for the normal people who went there just for the concert. Like, I hope you were okay with that, because you just spent money on a day pass just for this.
Yeah, for real. But probably the cheapest tickets they've ever bought, though, for a concert.
Probably, honestly, yeah. You're right.
But like, there are really good artists that are well known for their live concerts. Like Lady Gaga always performs effortlessly.
Yeah.
And then there's people like, I don't know, Katy Perry, who still relies a little bit on her technos. A little bit.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there are some of them that just don't perform really well at live concert, but their music is amazing. And then you got people that perform really good with live concert, and then their music is even more amazing. So maybe they're just one of those people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. They're never gonna understand what that's for. These are just
they will if they listen to Game Grumps.
We've just been doing this. You just have to get used to it.
Yeah.
What was your favorite thing about the convention overall?
Oh man. Okay. Well, my favorite stuff about the convention doesn't pertain to what con staff and what the convention does in general. It's more so like my friends and stuff. Because a convention that's set up real shitty or doesn't have a lot to do, it can still be fun if you're with the right people. But honestly, I think some of my favorite parts that pertain to the convention were probably Floor Wars and the Fursuit Dance competition. It's just really entertaining to go and see people dance. And also, this is another thing that I guess doesn't super pertain to what con staff does, but I fucking loved the pool. I usually don't get to swim at cons because I just don't have time. But this year we actually stayed until Monday. Like, we checked out on Monday instead of on Sunday.
Ooh.
To give us some time to go to like the Dead Dog dance and all that. And I think a lot of other people are starting to do that because a lot of people were there on Sunday, which was nice. It wasn't like dead.
How many days was the con?
It started on Thursday.
I've seen that Felix started to notice this, that more and more conventions are starting to go to almost 4, if not 5-day conventions. 5 days way too long, but 4 days.
5 is way too long.
4 is kind of pushing it, but I could see the excitement for that.
Like, it's nice because on Sunday, if you check out on Sunday, then a lot of other people also check out on Sunday, and so you kind of have to battle. you have to battle for the bellhops, you have to battle for the elevators, and then
right.
you don't get to participate. You have to check out by 11, so you can't stick around. Where are you going to put your shit? So you have to check out, and you can't go to like the dead dog dance, and you can't. If they put Floor Wars on Sunday, which typically I would say, like maybe last year I would have said that's stupid because most people aren't there on Sunday, but I think they understand that people are starting to stay on Sunday and want to give people something to do. So Floor Wars was on Sunday, which was fine with me. That gave me something to do, and so it was just better. And then I had a whole extra day. Like if I don't get there on Thursday until like 3 or 4 o'clock, because that's when check-in for the hotel room is. Sometimes you could check in early, but if you can't, then you drove all the way up there and now you have to put your luggage into like the little room where they watch it for you. But that, if you have fursuits, that costs so much money, you don't want to do that.
I think that's the average time. I think it's like it's like a 6 to 8 hour drive from Salt Lake to Reno for BLFC. So we usually get there around 2-3 o'clock, and then we just kind of like wander the con floor if we want to. I usually like to just sleep. I love sleeping. So,
especially after a long drive.
Yeah, it's a long drive. But
I'm only 45 minutes away from FWA, luckily, so it's not a big deal for me.
Lucky for you.
Yeah.
Maybe next year they should like invite Queer Eye for the straight guy. Or they don't call it straight guy anymore. Just Queer Eye. I would love to see their reactions at a FWA. That would be amazing.
Oh, they would have so much fun with all the gay furries.
Oh my god, they would. They would have so much fun.
Oh, they would especially love watching the dance com because there's a lot of like sassy dancer. I swear.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
They would especially love that one fursuiter that fucking stripped. Oh, speaking of that, during that specific performance where this dog ripped off his clothes, had like a Speedo on with like a sock or something shoved in it, so it looked like he had a bulge.
Oh my god.
Like the whole thing. There was a mother, like at least a 45 to 50-year-old mother, sitting in front of us with her like 14-year-old kids, right? There's like 2 kids with her. And the mom, when this happened, the mom looked over to the kid, and I saw the kid mouth, "I'm sorry," and shrugged at her mom. Like,
oh my god.
Like, I started laughing, and I nudged my friends, and I was like, "Did you see that?" And like, the kid was just like, "I'm sorry," like, because she probably didn't expect that to happen.
That really never. That shouldn't happen, really, because you never know who's watching.
Yeah, and like, but to be fair, the mom kind of just like smiled and nodded and laughed it off, so it's like she didn't get in trouble or anything. But I was laughing so hard when I saw that. I was like,
I think that's cool that the mom attended with the 14-year-old. I don't know.
There were a lot of like younger kids there with their parents specifically, and I was really glad to see that because you don't see like
the trust wasn't there, but now it is.
Yeah, and also like the fact that they're there to support their kid and not just to leave them there and be like, okay, good luck, bye. Like, I don't want to be at this thing. Y'all have fun, but like they were there to support their kid. And in the elevators, actually, this was another favorite part of my convention. We were waiting by the elevators, and these 2 parents with 2 kids, or it was 1 parent. It was a mom with her 2 kids, and they were wearing fursuits that they had made themselves, and I think they were probably about 11 or 12.
That's still cool, though.
It was really cool, and they like started freaking out when they saw me. I was in suit, and I waved at them and was interacting with them. And the mom was talking for them. They're like, yeah, this is their first FWA. They made their fursuits themselves. And I started talking. And so I was like, these are so good. I wish my suits looked like this when I started 8 years ago. And they were so happy. They were so happy that I was like complimenting them and all that. And when we were in the elevator, I was asking one of them how they made certain parts of it. And they were just super stoked to actually like have somebody talking to them about the things that they made. And I think people need to do that more often with younger furries. Like, because back when I started fursuit making, people were mean to children making fursuits. Like, if your fursuits did not look good, you got bullied. I got death threats when I was a kid, being like, your fursuits suck, you should kill yourself. And I was like, why? Like, so I don't think that happens much anymore. But I think people should still, like, if you see a younger furry at a convention wearing a suit they made themselves, go like talk to them.
Yeah.
Not in a creepy way, but go talk to them. Be like, yo, your suit looks great. Talk to the parents, being like, yeah, are you having a good time with your kids? Like, how are you liking the event? Like, see how it's going. Give a good impression. Like, encourage people to keep creating things, because it's not often that young people create elaborate art like that.
No, it's not.
And if they start now, they'll get really good later.
Especially if they get people that actually talk with them too.
Yeah.
I remember, let's see, I didn't go last year to Reno, so it would have been 2 years ago. I think Felix was either somewhere else at like an event or something. And I decided to go and just listen to, you know, Pepper Coyote and Fox and More kind of just sing. And I noticed that there was this bird fursuiter up at the front dancing and kind of like almost acting exactly like a bird, but it was really cool. So then, you know, I kind of just said something, and the mom turned around, she's like, that's my daughter. She actually made that herself. And I'm like, really? And so I just, you know, struck up a conversation with the mom, like full on everything. I think I even exchanged, you know, I don't know, like numbers or anything, but like email. So like if they ever had questions or something. And I genuinely enjoyed that conversation. It was so much fun. And it was more fun to see her be excited for her daughter who made that fursuit. It was really cool.
Yeah. And I love seeing parents starting to support it. Like, because my parents were kind of confused when they were like, why is my child obsessed with this? I don't understand. Like, I was annoying them so much. Like, stop talking about this quad suit you want to make. You've talked about it like every 10 minutes in the car. I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm just excited. But now parents are like helping kids make things. And it's so great. It's just so great. And I love it.
Well, and the other thing too is if you're encouraging, like, just anyone who ever, I don't know if parents even listen to this, but if you are listening, the more you encourage your kids at a younger age, the more creative and actual honesty, the more open-minded they might actually be later on. And it'll be because you encouraged it. And if we can, like there is limits, like obviously you don't want to encourage certain things and you want to put like a boundary on stuff. But if you just give your kids a little bit of space here and there and you encourage or kind of maybe get involved in something, you'd be surprised how your kids would actually turn out later on, you know?
Oh, for sure. Like,
so, I mean, my mom made me do like side tangent. Welcome to our show. I come from a very musical family, a creative, artistic, musically family. So we all sing. I play piano. My brothers play guitar. But I was also much younger at my younger years. I think I was like 7 or 8. My mom would put me in private art lessons too, to kind of just give myself an outlet. And so now, because of that, like I have a more affinity for people who create. I am drawn to like just kind of just the out there kind of stuff. And I love, you know, getting involved and or listening and, you know, just seeing how people do their things. I think if I wasn't pushed towards that direction, I don't think I would be the same person I am today. So yeah, it's important. Just get involved. It doesn't have to be heavily involved, but just, you know, a little encouragement here and there makes everything better.
Yeah, like you don't have to fucking go buy a fursuit and wear it around with your kid or anything.
No.
But like be there for them and see what it's about and keep an open mind, you know, and
yeah,
you'll have a good time too. That's how Moms of Furries started, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, that's right, because there is Moms of Furries.
Yeah, there is Moms of Furries.
So overall, it seems like this convention was a much better experience than it was last year, which is a really good thing to hear, especially since of all your horror stories from last year.
Yeah, last year wasn't great. Last year was a lot of stress from fursuit deadlines and then from the con being set up in such a way that it was just hard to deal with. But it was so much better this year. They had more staff on hand and they had a lot more volunteers as well. The artist alley was pretty smooth. It was laid out in a new way that I didn't like, but I understood why they did it. And overall, it was great. The staff did great. I think they have improved so much with not only running the convention, but listening to suggestions from others in a way that is respectful. People should I guess, and I'm guilty of this. I'll complain about con staff sometimes, especially in the past. Like, why do they do this? This is dumb. They're not listening to anybody. But honestly, after this year and after seeing closing ceremonies for the first time, I have a lot more
Respect.
empathy and sympathy. You know, I understand they work hard and they need some more support. So if you go to FWA and if you're able to, if you're local to Georgia, I can't do this because I'm so busy all the time with commissions and schoolwork. But if you have the time, go try to be staff for FWA. They opened up a new office, is what they call it. They have an office for their con staff and for furries in general. They can go and visit. And they opened up a community center, or they're working on opening a community center for furries in Georgia where you can go. They'll have movie nights and things like that.
That's
so if
cool.
you want to help, yeah, it's really cool. If you want to go help make that a reality, go become a staff member for FWA. They could really use the help, and the more staff is on hand, the more they can offer for people every year. So
it's kind of like an outreach program almost, but like,
yeah, it's like
that's cool. I wish we had that here. Well, we have different things here in Utah. We have like little art nights and whatnot. I don't know anyone, but Felix goes to those.
But usually it's not run by like a convention that is professional.
No,
you know?
That's the cool part.
It's like by a group of people. That's the cool part. Like it has a more professional air to it. It's not like scary to go to. Like you're just going to these things with strangers.
Good on FWA, making waves. And you know that I've noticed something here too. A lot of convention websites go all out and try to deck it out. FWA keeps it simple. It's easy to read. There's things on there that I can totally get, and it looks like a good con. I want to go eventually. It just all depends on funds, really, because we want to get a house and everything this year. So
yeah,
we've
because you almost went this year.
We almost went, but Felix and I had kind of sacrificed to do certain things that we want to do and, explore. So sometimes life overtakes conventions, but this convention looks really good. It seems like one that I would most likely enjoy because I didn't really like MFF, and PLFC is fun, but it seems like
I don't think I would like
con.
MFF. It just looks it's too much.
It's too crowded. It's
too crowded. It's too much of a party con for me. Yeah. And also they don't really seem to respect their artists this year, and I don't appreciate that.
But their food is amazing. But that's a totally different story. So, if you guys ever have questions about that convention, you can always reach out to us on our Telegram and our social networks. You can also just reach out to FWA in general, or if you have questions about us or topic ideas, maybe you want to have a specific guest you haven't heard on our show, just let us know. I'd be more than happy to reach out. I'm reaching out, I think, almost every other day, contacting people on Twitter, kind of just getting a feel like, would you want to be on our show? And most of the time they say yeah. So if you have a suggestion, let us know. We go off of
for sure.
All of your input.
We're pretty open to communication. So if you want to email us, we are talk to the muzzle.
Or what's the other one?
No, we only have one. It's talktothemuzzle@gmail.com.
That's right. That's what it is.
Yep.
There was another one, but I don't know what happened to it. So whatever.
So if you want to be on the show, or if you have a show topic idea, or if you know somebody else who wants to be on the show or a suggestion, email us. Let us know. If you have any questions, email us. Let us know. We also have a Telegram chat that you can join. And we also have a Facebook and a Twitter that we are steadily working on and improving. So if you want to follow us, those links will be in the description on anywhere this podcast is uploaded.
Yep.
Yeah.
We're everywhere now. We're professional.
Yeah. The professional.
Yes. Anyways, folks, we'll see you guys next time. I think our next show will be about, we're going to be doing it on YouTube this time around. So we'll be talking about fursuits then and now. So that'll be a visual show. It won't be live, but it will be fun to watch. I can guarantee it.
Yes.
Have a good one, everyone.
See you next time.